let's talk about laying on of hands, and let's first talk about why we want to do laying on of hands. So crystals are wonderful, they're absolutely excellent, and there is no substitute for what crystals can give us. But you know what? Our hands, there's no substitute for the energy and the healing that can come through your hands either. And we don't want to just drop out healing with the hands from what we're doing in these sessions. The good part about laying on of hands is that you learn to get out of the way and allow the energy to come through you. And this is a fantastic thing to spend a little bit of time with. So if you are not an Alexander teacher and you don't know how to do the Alexander technique way of putting hands on somebody, you can and should sometimes do laying on of hands. I'm going to explain the dynamics of it, how to do it, and it is easy, it is not difficult, but you must preserve the rules. And if you need a license to do laying on of hands in the country that you live in, then make sure you get the license. In the US, we apply for a reverence license, and then we are allowed to do laying on of hands, even if we don't have a massage therapy license or other kind of licensing that allows us to touch people and put our hands on them. So take care with that aspect, and let's begin by understanding where to put the hands and then what to think when you have your hands in place. So you put your hands on bones and joints. Let's see what that looks like. If we come to the knees and we simply place our hands on the knees, then we know that's joints. Knees are joints. When you want to draw a synovial joint, you draw the knee joint. And what you want to be aware of, and it's interesting because I'm being reminded because my hands have opened up and allowed, and this channeling is happening, is that it is all about your palm chakras. So your palm chakras are here in the middle of your palm, back and front. The palm chakras are very, very, very important. And so get those palm chakras onto those joints and connect palm chakras to knee chakras. Remember, every joint is a chakra. And that's a wow, isn't it, Linda? And even that's just having a profound effect. And I am not thinking Alexander directions. Of course, you can't take the directions out of the Alexander teacher, but I am only thinking laying on of hands. And what I have done actually is I've opened up in my heart chakra here at the back, and the guides are putting their hands in through my heart chakra, and their hands are coming out through my hands to work on Linda. And that is the extraordinary power of laying on of hands. It just happens if you are able to step away, let your ego get out of the way, and just allow yourself to be a channel. You've got to be the channel, and it's not about you. Whatever happens, it's not because of you. You gave your time, you gave your body, but you didn't have to have any skill. You just need to remember about your palm chakras and to let your heart chakra open, allow the guides in, and you get this profound effect. So you want to put your hands on the bones, not on soft tissue, with one exception, and that is over here at the second chakra. And so here you've got the ribs, so there's the ribs, there's the bone, and there's my hand on the solar plexus chakra. But there's no bone that I can place my hand on here, and this is the one and only exception in laying on of hands, where you put your hands, your palm chakras, on the flesh tissue, and not on the bones. So there we are. That's it. And I'm just being guided to do this. So I'm not doing anything with my hands. I'm channeling. That is laying on of hands. It feels very sacred and very blessed. I can feel myself going into an altered state of consciousness. I can feel my speech slowing down. I can feel Linda's breathing slowing down. And I've become more of an observer to a dynamic than steering the dynamic. So I'm now going to let myself be steered as we go through this. This is wonderful. And what's interesting about it is that it takes longer. My hands are in position longer than if I were doing Alexander technique. And something different is happening. Something different is transpiring. Right. Then I'm going to come up here and place my hands on the shoulders. And you stay on the bones. If you stay on the bones, all is excellent. So here's the bone. Here's the other side. My palm chakra goes on the bones. And see, I just bend my knees slightly to be able to reach. You don't want to hunch your back like this. Rather just gently bend your knees. The head. So this is the forehead technically, and the third eye. And it's very, very calming for Linda and for me. And all kinds of dynamics are happening for Linda, and I'm not steering it. I'm just allowing, and I'm letting the flow come through. And we move to the crown chakra, and for this I'm actually going to kneel down because I'm going to make it easier for me. And I'm going to put my hands on the crown chakra now. That's very nice. And now I'm going to go down to the feet. What's special about this is that something beyond what I can think of is allowed to happen. And that's what we want. We want that added layer, the things we don't know need to be invited in, things that we don't know but are for the higher good. And those are the dynamics we want to be open to and to invite into the session, because that's what brings in the miracles and magic. Lovely. And you see I go straight for the shin bones here because I'm being asked to. And this is very grounding. I feel a wonderful flow coming through. So there we are. We put our hands on the bones, not on the soft tissue. With one exception, we can put our hands here. And of course, holding hands is always amazing. With laying on of hands and in any dynamic, anything that we're doing. How does it feel, Linda?
Very relaxed.
Hard for you to talk relaxed.
Yes.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel different from when it's me doing Alexander technique on you?
Yeah, so, yeah.
It's hard to pin down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just...
It feels, for me, it's slower, and I'm not steering, I'm not directing, I'm allowing something to happen. So it felt like you were sorting through something in your own being as we were going. Lovely. Okay, thank you. There we are, laying on of hands.